And it's my great pleasure that we have a very nice panel here. In the panel, it's basically these four persons who are have their videos on. It's Dr. Saibal Ghosh and Akshaya Mishra from the Geological Survey of India in Kolkata. And then we have Ture Homstad from the Norwegian Public Roads Administration. And we also have a person from Japan, Daisuke Kagayama. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing very well.
No problem. It's difficult to pronounce. Thank you.
And you all the four members, you are working in some kind or another with regard to an operational warning. And my first question to you all would be, can you shortly give some background about your the institute, the role, the main task of your institute, and your particular role in this institute? And maybe I would like to start with Saibal, that you could shortly explain. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you for inviting us for this excellent session. Yes, Geological Survey of India, it's a very old organization, was actually established in 1851. And we are the national provider of all sorts of geoscientific informations. We have around 2,000 trained geoscientists working in the department. And we do our activities through ground surveys, air surveys, and also marine surveys. Apart from that, we do work in all sorts of domains, starting from geological mapping, then mineral investigations, then also basic fundamental research, geohazard studies, geotechnical, and everything. And in India, for all sorts of hazards, there are defined nodal agencies. And Geological Survey of India has been declared as the nodal agencies for landslide since 2004. And we are mandated to issue also the monitor, work, and issue the warning for landslides. And okay, my colleague and myself are working in a center which is under the direct control of our boss, the Director General of GSI at Calcutta. And we have an office, our headquarters is at Calcutta, but we have 16 different offices spread throughout India. So we have a very good last mile connectivity, because our country is very big, so we have a last mile connectivity also.
Thank you. And Akshaya, if you can complete this information, what is your specific role in this service?
Good morning, for providing me the opportunity to be part of this great conversation. Our specific role in GSI is Geohazard Research Management Center, which we have been, which is dealing with at Kolkata. We carry out and monitor all the research activities and the operational activities on landslides throughout India. And basically, we are also the center to look after for developing the landslide early warning and to provide landslide early warning in future. We have got 100 geoscientists working throughout India to accomplish this achievement for this purpose, for reducing the landslide disaster risk in India.
Okay, thank you very much. Then if I continue with Ture Homstad in Norway, I think your role is a little bit different. Also, your institute, according the address, you are belonging to Vegvesen, which is a kind of a road administration. And can you tell us a little bit about this and your specific role there?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to be present here in this early morning in Norway and share some ideas and experiences. I'm working for the Norwegian Public Roads Administration, and this is a nationwide organization dealing with the roads in entire Norway. So it's not a research institute, but we have a lot of people that are researchers as well. In Norway, the road administration is governing the national and the European roads, and until recently we also had the county roads, but it was a big reform in Norway 2 years ago. So no, we are not dealing with the county roads, but in a way we're also a resource for the counties. Yeah, so we deal with a lot of things, but amongst them we have also the geohazard problems. So we have a lot of roads that are exposed for both snow avalanches and landslides and rock slides. So we try to make plans to deal with them, and also systems, emergency systems also for the rest of the road owners. We are 6,000 employees together, but I guess around 100 geoscientists, I guess.
Yep.
Me and myself, I'm an engineering geologist, so I have the background from geology, but the latest 15 years I have been working mostly with snow avalanches, and the work we do towards landslides is very tightly connected to how we work with snow avalanches. We have one word for snow avalanches and landslides, which is the same word in Norwegian, and that is skred. Yeah, so my role is to be the professionally responsible for the early warning systems and how we use them in the road administration.
Okay, then you are just perfect for this discussion around here, because you certainly also have to include strategic work, and that's what we want to discuss a little bit also. But now I would also ask Daisuke, can you say a few words about your background and your institute? I see it's a more a ministry for transport, for lands, infrastructure and transport and tourism.
Yeah, thank you.
And what is your role there? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good morning. It is 2:00 p.m. in Japan, so I'm so glad to see you all today in this session. And I'm Daisuke Kageyama, and technical officer in the Japanese government. I'm working as the Ministry of, sorry, very long name, Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism. And in the ministry, I'm working as a policymaker, allocating budget and making new campaigns for disaster, particularly sediment disaster prevention policies. And there, I've experienced some difficulties to improve our strategies in the real world context. So today, I'd like to share my experience, and I keep here, not as an officer of the government, but as an individual. So I try to talk in a progressive manner, and I'd like to strengthen my logic to implement innovations in my responsibility. Thank you.
Very good. And now you already gave the keyword for this discussion here. It's about innovations.
Yeah.
You know, LandAware, this network that has organized this day, we have a specific working group on innovations where we discuss very different ideas, methods that are maybe not mature, they are not ready, they are potentially an added value for warning systems, but not established yet. And here there is a lot to discuss, and I would like to go back to Saibal Ghosh and ask, when you hear the word innovations, what comes up in your mind? What pops up in your mind? What does this word mean for you with regard to your work?
Definitely, it's as a literary word. Innovation to me is always a method or technique which is absolutely novel in nature and can be adopted very easily and can be implemented also. There are sometimes some challenges always lies. And very important as far as warning is concerned, it should be very easy to implement. because we are dealing with a very challenging subject. Landslide early warning is not that very easy, because monitoring and uh, developing a slopes specific early warning sometimes is easier if we depend more on instrumental measurements and these things. So it is more data intensive. But the area where GSI is currently working, that is mainly on regional, which is very fuzzy at times. So, so there lies real challenge where you have to adopt every time a very dynamically and very innovative approach. And that is the thing what I understand.
Yeah. Okay. Akshaya, can you maybe give your vision or your ideas when you hear this term innovations? What does it mean for you? Is it something that that is a positive thing for you in the context of early warning, or is it more something that you are a little bit skeptical about in your daily work?
I would like to, for me, innovation looks similar to what can be used in a, what can be used to improve the systems easily for reducing the disaster. Uh, Innovations in landslide early warning is essential in each and every day, because we face the challenges in each and every sector, each and every component of it, and each and every different terrains, because of the different type of people living there. Social dynamics is different, meteorological dynamics is different. So small tweaks, small innovations always helps to build up better warning systems for different terrains.
Yeah.
This is always helpful.
Ture, could you give an example of an innovation that has been recently established in your institute or in your warning system, just to make clear for the audience here what we are talking about? So what do you see as an innovation that you have recently implemented in your system?
One thing I could mention is that we're making a new sort of dashboard for following the geohazard situation as such in the entire country, and it's a sort of web page called Response. It's a Norwegian translation of the English word response. It's only written a bit differently, without the e in the end. And this is a website where all the susceptibility mapping is digitalized, and it's shown in the map tool, and I can zoom into different landslide paths, and I could also include the early warning system, so I could filter the most exposed areas at different days, so I could combine dynamic data with static data. So this is, I don't know if everyone would call it an innovation, but for us it's an innovation because it's something new, and we don't know exactly how far we will go with this, but at least it is helpful now, and we think it could be even more helpful as we work along with new things to implement there.
So it's nice when you speak now about this innovation. I see it is not an innovation with regard to the detection of the critical situation. It's rather an innovation in your daily work, in the information platform, in the presentation of this information, which is very complex, which is very diverse, for your operators actually to condense all this information. That's nice, because what my experience is, I often see when we talk about innovation here in landslide early warning, it's the detection part, it's the sensor part, and now you give a nice example of something else. Daisuke, I will ask you what is your association with regard to innovation? So, and do you have a good example that you would tell us from your work that has been implemented recently in your institute?
Yeah, I'd like to explain some examples of my country. In Japan, some researchers revealed that Japanese people tend to breathe the words of their relatives or neighbors, not them of the local government, and they don't breathe local government or central government. And so we try to incentivize people to escape from their home. So we made a campaign to recommend young people to call their relatives, their family or friends, and if they think their important persons are in danger. And this policy is irrelevant to the technological innovations, and it is more traditional style of warning system, but this policy is driven by the technological innovations in telecommunications or like some many tools like Twitter or Facebook or other some platforms. Yeah, so I think it is very important. So this kind of policy based on psychological analysis of people in chaotic situation may be a key to find the seed of future innovations. And I think the such many factors or technologies mixed and combined to make the progress in this disaster prevention field, I believe. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So another direction that you are here taking up, it's more the communication part. It's how people deal with warnings. Very interesting, and I'm sure there are many innovative approaches here that we see all over the world. And it's excellent that we also can touch this aspect here in this discussion. So if I now come back to Saibal Ghosh, I would like to ask, at your institute, how do you deal with when somebody is coming, has a new idea, a new proposal for such an innovation? How do you deal with that in implementing or not implementing these innovations? So what is the process at your institute to deal with such new ideas?
Yes. Our country has a very large area which is landslide prone, and the problem are multifarious. But the question you have asked, in our department, though it is a government department, but we enjoy ample freedom in taking up any innovative idea amongst ourselves, and for that we also nurture a lot of collaborations. And since 2017, we are collaborating with one of the largest European group, the Landslip. With them, we are working and we are developing the prototype models for landslide early warning. So every idea, new idea, which was very new to us, we have implemented that. And we have not faced any problem from our political bosses also. Only one condition was there, that since the country's landslide scenario is quite varied, so any idea, any innovative idea, whether it will work or not work, that needs to be tested at multiple locations. So it should have an application oriented. It is not just like a research oriented organization. So we always take the innovative idea, we try to mold it in a application mode. I am giving you one example. Before 2013, if you ask me that how many landslides are there in India, I wouldn't have been able to tell you. So what we did, before then, we had a very detailed research that what would be the right methodology for preparation of hazard zonation maps and these things of our country. Then we took a national program That was also a result of an innovative idea. And we prepared the perspective plan, and we have completed nearly, you can say, our total landside prone area is 427,000 square kilometers, a very large area spread over 18 states. And till date, we have already completed nearly 85% of our target. But simultaneously, what we did, that a lot of countries having landslide susceptibility map, but that doesn't mean that it is only a map per se. It has to be used. It has to be integrated in the disaster management plans and programs. So what we did, we prepared this map. We pushed this map to our National Disaster Management Authority for implementation at state level for all developmental planning and disaster management plans. And this is also working as a very good foundation for us for working in the landslide early warning projects. We have a database of 61,000 inventory of landslides, out of which nearly 28,000 have been field validated by our geoscientists. So these are the innovative ideas which we have been doing for the last 6-7 years. And now we are actually jumping in a big manner for the warning. In 2-3 areas, we are testing the warning systems, and we are slowly expanding our endeavor in other areas. And we have already prepared a perspective plan for next 10 years to apply these innovative ideas.
Okay, so this is a very nice example. Would you like, Akshaya, would you like to add on what Saibal said with regard to how you see how your institute is dealing with these new ideas? Do you have some? Would you like to add to what Saibal?
I would like to only say one thing, that because we didn't have earlier any database, and now we have created those database in last 6 to 7 years under the national program. This has given a confidence to go for the landslide to test different models of thresholds in different terrains. So this will also be helpful in future for us to build up new innovative technologies or new innovative ideas to see that whether thresholds are working in different parts of the country or not, because India has got different climatic conditions in different terrains, and we have got different very climatic condition, very terrains, and also you have got various failure mechanisms, different type of landslides in each and every corner of the country. So this will be a basic step for us, that this type of small innovations are being implemented, so that this type of early warning system we can spread across the country.
Okay. Now, if we go to Ture, the situation in Norway is quite different compared to India, I guess, and you specifically have a specific task also to protect these roads and railways. So how is the process in your institute with regard to when such new ideas pop up or are proposed by private companies or researchers? How do you deal with that?
It's a large organization, so it's difficult to say something that applies for the entire organization. But of course, we are following the national regulation when it comes to how you work together with private companies. We have regulations for doing procurements, and they also regulate how you work with research and development. But the easy way to explain this is if a private company has an idea, we are more than willing to listen to them, and they could always come and present for us their idea. And if we're going to do something together with the private companies, we need to publish the task so that others also could be part of it if they are able. So then we could do that. We could invite companies to do some small projects with us, for instance, and then we like to test everything in small projects, like small pilot projects. And after doing so, we could perhaps decide to implement it as more like a permanent system. So we have a lot of examples of that. But again, I think it's fair to say that we are doing it mostly towards snow avalanches because they tend to occur in the same areas every year. When in Norway, at least, landslides more tend to happen one time at one specific site and then another place the next time. So we have a slightly different approach, but even if it's a snow avalanche or a landslide, it's very good to do small tests and then implement on a later stage naturally.
Yeah. So you say.
Oh no, I can't hear you.
You don't hear me? You don't hear me?
Sorry, I have to do.
Can I?
Manfred, No, I can hear you again, Manfred.
Okay, very good. So Ture, what you said is if there are private companies or whoever who wants to propose, they are welcome. They can come and make their proposal. But are you also actively reaching out to the researchers? Are you joining what's going on in the research?
When it comes to landslide early warning, we work very tightly together with the NVE, which is the national responsible for the Norwegian early warning systems. So we could work together with them, and both they and we could of course reach out to researchers to come and assist us with different things. For my case, since I'm an engineer, I'm working quite often also on the road with the day-to-day danger situation. I am not myself the best to keep an overview of everything that is going on in the research world. So it's good to have both the NVE to work together with, and also to invite researchers to help us to give an overview, so that we don't implement or we don't develop something that is already made from others.
Yep. Yeah, you see, you make the point here. It's difficult to get the overview of all innovative ideas that are popping up in, be it on meteorology, be it on geology, in all this interdisciplinary aspect of landslide early warning. And maybe LandAware can be a place where you can get information about such new ideas. So I ask now Daisuke, what can you tell us with regard to the strategy of your institute? What is happening at your institute with regard to new ideas? Are you actively searching for innovations, or how do you deal with new ideas that are emerging? And maybe you should, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. First, I'd like to prioritize, I'd like to say I'm prioritized on research, and because we government have to consider many variants like the feasibility or accountability or efficiency or something like that. So we have many options to implement our disaster prevention policies, and sometimes private companies offer to or explain the new innovative items to censor the landslide or some so on. And we examine such new items in the field, or cooperate with such companies in many fields of Japan. And however, I think there are, as you said, many difficulties to implement such new innovative ideas all over in Japan. First, as you know, there are many differences between the areas, region to region, And so we cannot apply such items to entire Japan. So we have to consider such items very carefully. And next, I think there are such innovative ideas in the LandAware early warning systems. It's very difficult for private companies to make such items to business, because I think such items are bought only by government or local government or some other institutes. So I think the very customers are limited, and so they cannot invest a lot of money on the field. So the government have to subsidize such companies or academics to develop new ideas and technologies. However, it's very difficult from the perspective of transparency and equality. And sometimes we are criticized to support some specific companies or researchers without required process. So we have to try hard to make such innovative ideas, but at the same time, we have to be very transparent to any people in Japan and also other countries, and to grow such seed and make progress in this field. I can I? Sorry, this is my answer. Thank you.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you said. These risks that are also linked to innovations. You mentioned it here in your statement, but I heard it also by Saibal in one of his first speeches. Where do you see particular risks or problems, challenges? Maybe challenges is a better word in implementing these innovations. Maybe Saibal, could you
Yes.
mentioned already something at the very beginning. Could you maybe add to that or be more specific?
Yeah. See, I'm specifically telling about the early warning for landslide, this aspect only. There are very generic and very specific challenges. The generic challenges are that this particular exercise may be regional. It is a multidisciplinary and also multi-institutional exercise. We have been actually collaborating with our national meteorological services, then local government, then our agencies, space research agencies. And these type of collaborations, you have to continue for longer period of time. So thinking that collaboration for longer period of time require very optimal and very specific institutional arrangements. That is not very easy to maintain for a longer period of time, because in any early warning system, the gestation period or the testing period is quite long, terrain to terrain. This is one challenge. Another challenge is that any innovative ideas is always technology dependent. So you need a technology transfer. Now this technology transfer is not that easy. It requires a lot of expertise to be developed in the team. And in our country, since I belong to a government department, sometimes it happens that the people are shifted from one place to another place. So there is a general attrition. So these are the generic challenges we always face. And the specific challenges, what we are now currently facing, is the social dynamics of each state in our country is also different. That means the behavior of the responders are quite varied, number one. So the communication to those people and getting feedback from them is also not similar across the terrain, number one. Number two is that still we are facing tremendous problem about landslide event date. And this is extremely important for landslide early warning, as you know. So those things are quite challenging to all of us, and I think it's a challenging to all of you also in your country where the landslide early warning system is going.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. Maybe I can ask Akshaya one specific question with regard to the challenge also of innovations. And here I'm talking about financial issue. Is this also a kind of financial issue in your institute? As innovations, they often have generate additional costs related, also economic risks that you take when you want to implement such innovations in your system. Is this something which is of important in this question of do we or do we not implement new ideas? So the economic factor here.
Okay, I became mute. One of the biggest issue in because GSI is a government organization and we are the nodal agency, so any new technique or any innovation that is being developed or that needs to be implemented in any of the field of hazard, it has to be it comes under public scrutiny and is for its efficacy and use, because these products are always having direct impact on people and properties and infrastructure. Therefore, one of the biggest issue is that if this type of innovation that we have been using, if it is to be implemented on the ground, then it has to be implemented throughout India with different areas. So the research takes, because this needs to be verified on the ground and tested for a longer period of time, because it has direct impact on the people and properties. So usually this type of issues for not implementing innovation is not being hampered by the department. They always give because for the disasters, they always give the first priority that innovation should be tested and should be implementable in the ground, so that this type of work, this type of technology can help to reduce the disaster from landslides.
Yeah. So Ture, when I listen to Saival and Akshaya, I hear very much that it's important to think about the end user, to your institute, to at the end of the day have to implement all these innovations. And I think this is a very important point that, of course, needs to be addressed to the researchers or to those who are developing these ideas, technologies. Do you also see the main challenges and risks there, or are there other risks or challenges that you see with regard to the implementation of innovations?
Yeah, I think I agree that it's important to consider the end users, and one challenge is also to define who the end users are, because also in for instance in our organization there could be several end users. It could be the engineers like me, or it could be the driver on a truck. It could be a lot of end users. So I think it's very important to consider who will be involved in a way. So I'm sure if this is directly connected to your question, but we try to work a bit on crowdsourcing. So we think that early warning is it's not only one group making a warning and another group receiving it. It should be a process where we work together, and we think it's also important for the forecasters and those working with the warning systems, that they get information back from the, let's call them the end users. So we have made some applications where where the local contractors could do their local evaluation on their specific site, and they could also take pictures of danger signs and give feedback to the landslide warning group in the same time as they are evaluating their own situation. So you could say that the end users are receiving a regional warning, and they give back their.
Oh, Ture, now we have your microphone is muted.
Okay. How long was it muted?
No, only a few seconds. So.
Okay, so it's happening automatically, seemingly. So I don't know where you lost me, but the point was at least that we are working together. So let's say that the warning group are shouting something out, and then the local, let's say the contractor is evaluating their local situation and give feedback. So in an application that we have in the road administration, and this is integrated with the national warning system at NVE. So this is a way to involve the end users and also let them be part of it and give value to their information. That is, I think, crucial.
Thank you very much. It's very nice information that you are providing here. We are soon coming back to the end of this discussion, and now I would like to come a little bit to the role of LandAware, this organization which has been established last summer, which is organizing this event here. It's people from all over the world. I think there are more than 40 countries that signed up for this network, for this event today. So if I can ask Daisuke, now you are part of this network here now, and what is your wish? What is your expectation, or what do you think LandAware can contribute to make it easier to implement new ideas, innovations?
Yeah, thank you. I think there are no borders in the field of disaster prevention, and in my opinion, international network may contribute to build new initiatives directly, by the interested countries, and it would be promotes development of in the field of academics and also the networking of government officers like us. So. And I think such initiatives may strengthen the partnership of countries, and may, if we could make some products, may such initiatives may reduce the overall cost of developing or operating of early warning system. Like I imagine, I think that in my mind, the ACT accelerator in the field of vaccination and is a good example of the international cooperation in the specific field, and also may strengthen the may strengthen the I think so and I know that it sounds like a fantasy and maybe impossible, but I believe that we can do more to make world a better place through this community and with you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Saibal, what do you tell me? What could LandAware do? What should we do in order to strengthen this possibility of implementing new ideas in warning systems? What shall LandAware do? Do you have some suggestions?
Yes, LandAware is really an excellent platform. This where we can share our knowledge and experiences. But I should always advise that LandAware should give more case study examples and their experiences, challenges, and how those challenges are overcome. So if it is a case study based examples, because the problems are always very distinct and very discernible in different areas. But if we can, in one platform, if we can get some experiences, and since it is a very good thing that the person who is in charge or who is applying those or using those informations, early warning information, they can be involved in this platform. So they can share their rather mostly their own examples. And another very interesting thing, I request the LandAware group to include everybody, even the responders, first responders also, because then you can get the right picture that actually how the ground performance of the, you have tried here, you have included today who is from the road maintaining authorities, one from the ministry, and but it would be very nice if we get the responders also in this group, so they can give some of their experiences. From that we will learn a lot of things. This is my view.
Thank you very much for these very good points. Case studies you mentioned, that's certainly something we have in mind, that we would like to make an example of implementation of new ideas in early warning system. We haven't started yet. This is an idea, and that could certainly be something for an upcoming activity in the next year. It's very good to see if you support this idea.
Surely. From GSI, we will be supporting you, definitely.
Yeah, and then I ask Akshaya, you are also, I guess, member of this LandAware network. What is your opinion? What could LandAware added value to your work in the future, and what should we do? So it's a benefit for you in.
One of the major things that we always lack in as multi-consortium forums is that we really need to have flow of information very seamlessly. This is one of the biggest things that we need to develop, that flow of information should be from each and every group. It should be disseminated so well that the next group that we want to develop the ideas or can trying to implement in some other areas can implement with the help of LandAware, because this type of groups were never there earlier, and this has a very big base of technological from various different domains like meteorological, landscape, as well as from computers and other stakeholders. So this such type of big groups can provide technological low budget or low innovative budgeted technological ideas to other groups for improvement or implementation of landslide early warning in other parts of different parts of the world. This will be a good thing to at least help people to get out from the landslide disaster risk.
Okay, thank you. We will take up that point as well. And I would like to give the last word to Ture. What are your specific expectations with regard to LandAware? Where do you see the added value for you personally when it comes to making use of innovations in your institute?
Personally, I think since I am lately or the last year has been working mostly with snow avalanches, I have been spending some years to build network, but I haven't been able to do the same in the landslide world. So it's very helpful for me to be a part of such a group like this, because someone has helped me to build this network. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to use LandAware to, perhaps present more of what we have been doing and get feedback from others. Maybe someone did the same 2 years ago, so it could be good to know this. So I hope that LandAware could play that role. And I think also the expectations to LandAware will develop as the years are going and how we see how it's working. But if there was a possibility for me to take an initiative that now I have something to show, I don't know who is interested in it, but if I could send this information to LandAware somehow, and LandAware could help me to to either get in touch with the right people or to have small seminars during the years, and we could collect small presentations there and get feedback. So something like that, I guess.
I'm very happy to take up this idea as well. You know, this working group on innovations will go on. We will have a next meeting. It is planned for September. No fixed date yet, but I will reach out soon to see how we can continue this discussion. We had yesterday 4 presentations of specific innovations. Now we had a discussion how these innovations can be implemented in operational warning systems in different countries, where we see risks, where we see challenges, where we see opportunities. And I would like to thank you very much to all 4 of you, Saibal, Shaya, Ture, and Daisuke. Thank you very much for sharing your ideas with me and with those who joined. I also would like to mention that I write now in the chat a link to our notebook that we have from this working group, where people who listen, who would like to give feedback or share their ideas on this topic, you can write in these questions or ideas into this notebook, and we will make use of that in the upcoming working group meetings. So thank you again for all of you, and I would like to finish this session here by saying that LandAware MayDay will continue in a few minutes at 8 o'clock Central Europe time, with a session chaired by Michele Calvello. It will be about a cooperative project related to the Hong Kong land slide early warning system. And I would be very happy to see you all again in a few minutes back. So or later during the day. So this MayDay will run until 2 o'clock, and you have several opportunities to join the meeting again. Thank you for now, and
thank you.
Thank you
again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.